Holy smokes. I'm just reading some of those articles. DOJ. Former NFL player sentenced to 16 years for defrauding $200 million from Medicare and the VA. Former NFL player has been sentenced to 16 years in prison for a years-long scheme that bilked Medicare and the Department of Veterans Affairs out of $200 million. Bilked, B-I-L-K-E-D. Joel Rufus, French, 47, of Armory, Mississippi, owned a marketing company and was the beneficial owner of T Durable Medical Equipment, DME companies. The DOJ says he ran a scheme of selling patient information and sham doctors' orders for orthotic braces and patients did not want or need. Yeah, so you're talking about a years-long scheme. This is a former NFL player, owned a marketing company. Former NFL player, and as we said, a lot of these traveling bands and fundraising companies, I know back in the early 2000s and late 90s when we worked for him, raising money for firefighters and police, hiring people off the street, druggies, people with warrants, runaways, seeing how a lot of that works with a lot of the drug trafficking and the murders of innocent people and the snuff films and the abuse videos and the jerk games that get played with these activist groups. It's a pretty serious concern, and many don't seem to get it. They seem to want to be justified in whatever little cases they've been let in on, and they're justified in going after certain people or turning their heads to it, and that it's okay. They're not speaking out about it. People are scared to speak out about it. Yeah, because it'll piss off the people around them. How could you expose good investigators and people and activists that are going after horrible criminals and protecting us from dangerous people? It's insane, their mindset, when you actually listen to them and how they justify it. So anyways, retired sports players were heavily connected to those because every 3 to 5 weeks when they do a drive for firefighters or police or Special Olympics, they'd put on a game with retired NFL and baseball players, and the police or firefighters would play the retired sports players. And they would put out an advertising booklet, and that's how they got a lot of their fundraising money, is call up and you'd get donations for businesses to put an ad in the book they're going to pass out at the game. They'd also call residents too, give smaller donations, support your local boys. Yeah, and so many people are good people that have nothing to do or even know that a lot of that stuff goes on, and we could see that in the few years we were with them from 99, 2002, off and on. You'll see we were put on the programs in the year 2000. Yeah, you'll also see that in our records. Apex Marketing. Carol's. That's Carol's Corp. That was Smokey's Carnival. That's how the paychecks would come. Carol's Corporation. Yeah, I think that's what that was. Or is that a different one? I think Burger King. Isn't Burger King like Carol's Corporation too? Or am I thinking of something else? Are you carolers? Bring the children entertainment, laughter, and joy. Dig deeper. The DOJ says Joel Rufus French, 47, of Armory, Mississippi, owned a marketing company and was the beneficial owner of 8 durable medical equipment (DME) companies, and ran a scheme of selling patient information and sham doctors' orders for orthotic braces and patients that patients did not want or need. Very common businesses, for some of them to go into with the marketing schemes. These traveling bands, you're going around to all these rich neighborhoods, right? Working for firefighters, police. A lot of them get into selling jewelry or doing the psychic business. Drugs, some of them traffic drugs. And see how some would not be okay with the trafficking of drugs, but they like washing turtles? Or doing the seances? Or selling jewelry. Right, but they wouldn't be okay with the drugs. And you see how it's like kind of all... Right, I mean, definitely not okay with the abuse and child and animal pornography, right? I mean, sometimes some people get overdose. Where'd that one go? Oh, they took off. Right, people just come and go. It's a business. They do different drives every 3 to 5 weeks, hiring people off the street. You don't really question too much when someone doesn't show up for work. There's no paychecks either. There was no paper paychecks. It was all cash under the table. They didn't even know my real name when I started working for them. I told them my name was Mary Donahue. Yeah, I ended up telling them. I just thought it was funny how... there was no, like, they just hire people like this. Yeah, I mean, I was only 19, right? Just gotten put on the programs. They had wanted to put me in prison for 10 years, yeah? I was a teenage drunk, mouthy, huh? Not really. I know, some wouldn't say I was mouthy at all, huh? The ones who say I was mouthy are the nasty drug addicts and pieces of shit who've tried to kill us and don't like us because we're compromised. Yep, they say a lot of stuff about us, don't they? Nasty fucks. Mm-hmm. And they don't speak about us at all. No. Yeah, when you look at a lot of the paperwork and a lot of the stuff a lot of them have been writing about and what they've been saying, absolutely disgusting. But yeah, it's very common. They go into those businesses, and when you know those traveling bands are working with retired sports players, and some of them like their drugs, they're in pain. All those years of playing sports. Right, and they get caught up sometimes with some of the other scams. I mean, it's so easy, too, and you're traveling around. Raising money for firefighters and police. Some stay stationary. Yeah, it seemed like every town we went to, there were kind of staples in those areas they knew that lived in the area or had other businesses. Drug dealers, kind of a mixture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we really started putting it together. Then we woke up in the woods. Dig deeper. The scheme involved French working with overseas telemarketing call centers remember the overseas telemarketing call centers we were telling you about years ago? Right, so you understand we're concerned about our children here, that we've been targets of these fucks for years. Right, pretty much our whole lives. We're concerned about the children and exposing these networks and how they get away with feeding the child and animal abuse videos to these activist groups that are heavily connected to Catholic Church, businesses, and many other things. When you connect the dots and you start to understand that. Overseas funding as well, and other fundraising, charitable causes. Please wake the fuck up. Right, so what you can do is you can speak out about what we're speaking out about. These are the facts. My name's Mary. We're at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, Maine, and I have 4 children here, and my youngest 2 are in the hands of sick, murderous pedophiles, and we're lucky we survived the murder attempts, love taps. Either way, I don't care. You can argue and debate about that all day long. That does happen, okay? In some cases, there's other issues going on. Drugs, scams, love triangles, child and animal pornography, and abuse videos. That's what we're concerned about, and how that gets fed to you activist groups up these lines. It's really sad, the number of people that are staying silent, going into hiding, feel threatened, and nobody wants to speak the truth, and they don't seem to get how important that is, and they feel as though people are trying to force them into speaking the truth, and they're going to stand their ground and not be forced into being crazy conspiracy theorists. It's insane. And then they go off with their psycho pill popping ghost and alien stories. They pop these fucking psycho pills. They talk about ghostly and alien encounters. You look at the money and funding that goes into this shit, and you get these psychos around here we've been telling you about for years, and the bullshit funding with this telekinesis shit and children with autism. People feel more of a connection with those that aren't as mouthy, you know. That's why a lot of psychics and those kind of people don't seem to talk, you know, politics or personal information, because they don't want to give any cause for Galileo, you know, to not want to take advice from a Democrat, someone that doesn't eat meat. Right, they don't get into those things. That's why you don't see it in people that you know better. Unless you want them to have a gift and be special and it's good for the family and business. Right, no, when you look at it, the same symptoms they'll cast off as a gift or being possessed. Insane. Yeah, these people need fucking help, dude. Any suggestions as to how we can get people to start speaking the truth? Fox News, other major news networks, people, state workers, doctors, psycho fucking nurses. They're psychotic, dude. And I remember back when they were trying to bring awareness to those concerns, and they wanted to call people crazy, bad parents, shouldn't have children, going to kill other people. And they blew it up, and they amped it up, and they got other people, like the fear propaganda, like they get them out there in the street, all the retards and over-medicated people. Yeah, they got them all amped up, fearing the non-vaxxers. And then you saw it coming through others coming back from college. I don't even want to go there because I might catch something. Right, I mean, some of them knew too, right? Some of those batches that the people around us, some of the druggies were involved with. I know, fucking tainted, contaminated batches. And then when those people are nonstop complaining about these painful, itchy rashes, and it's making them very angry. I know, remember even the doctors were like, does it make you angry? Because their freaking legs were burning up, man, with these rashes. I know, and there's a lot of people that were aware what that was. I know, remember one of the doctors tried telling him, I think you're scratching your legs on the bushes where the dogs and cats are pissing. Yeah, that's probably exacerbating it. That's probably why, you know, when you see how some just get a little rash or not too much, like some who do the same batch didn't really get too much of anything. Or some got a really bad. Why is that? Oh, look at their diets. Getting scratched with poopy, shitty, pissy bushes. I mean, these things can add to it, right? I'm just trying to keep it real. Yeah, not too many people want to look at it, and how the proper authorities continue to stay silent and protect these sick motherfuckers. As you can see, you got different teams targeting, supporting, protecting different sides. My oldest two children are on this side with my parents and I, and my youngest two are on the other side. Sick fuck pedophiles. Murderers that feed this shit. Right, so when you see the goons here that think it's funny to antagonize and get a rise out of people that have already been tormented and tortured. I know, when you think of, too, you want to go back, you know, what a lot of these people did back in the 80s and 90s that they didn't get in trouble for. And people don't remember, right? And innocent people went to jail. Huh? Yeah, fucking good playbook, huh? Right, so we could really care less. We don't expect anything to be done. We're not trying to prove anybody to be good, bad, evil. Sick fucks are what they are, man. A sick fuck is a sick fuck. An evil, greedy, stupid piece of shit is an evil, greedy, stupid piece of shit. And they can be humbled and wake up and become a sentient human being and earn respect just like anyone else. But as far as pedophiles and people fucking and torturing little kids and fucking goons and nasty fucking psychotic pill-popping motherfucking cunts protecting them around here, yeah, you pieces of shit, die. I hope you and your children all die and that you're born again and you're able to speak the truth and enjoy life for what it really is. We hope that for you. Much love, health, and peace, everybody. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to do some reading and stretches. Have some coffee. It's kind of a drizzly morning.
Everything is so expensive. Now's
Do they have, whatever happened to, one moment, let me see. I don't know if we ever had one of those. A Red Lobster? Yeah, we used to have one of those. The Olive Garden is there now, where the Red Lobster used to be. It changed, yeah, back when the Walmart was built. Yeah, it turned into an Olive Garden. Long John Silver. It looks like the closest one is in Ohio. 6th Street, Cuyahoga Falls. You got Arizona, North Oracle Road, Tucson, Wisconsin Industrial Drive, Heartland, West Virginia, Earl L. Core Road, and Morgantown, Tennessee, Huntsville Highway, Fayetteville. You got some traveling to do if you want to go to a Long John Silver. Aqua the old top of school like friends are going out. Yeah. Yelling at the sky.